Hey everybody, Lee Martin here again, back with another experimental marketing video. Last week we covered building an automation that emailed us the next 5 release anniversaries from the Nirvana Music Brains discography. And if you didn't see that, I'll add a link to it in the description. Today I just wanted to do a quick video in the same theme that used Bandsintown concert instead of Music Brains releases. So I'm going to use the artist Noah Kahan and his past tour dates from Bandsintown to create an automation that would run every week, which sends me an email of the next 5 concert anniversaries that I could potentially talk about on socials. So were you there at this particular concert X amount of years ago? That's what we're aiming for. So I have my automation here in N8N. If I ran this particular automation, I would see an email like this. Looks like he played the old National Center in Indianapolis 5 years ago in 2021. And we've got an 8-year-old concert anniversary in Denver at the Summit Music Hall on 10/16. So the first thing we have here is a trigger, which executes every time I click this particular button. Good for testing. We're then going to call the Bandsintown API. Bandsintown API is called by calling this particular URL and swapping out the artist name for the artist name that we're interested in. In the case of this example, we're going to be using Noah Kahan. And then there's a single query parameter here for date that asks for only the past concert dates. And you can see when this particular call gets executed, Bandsintown is returning 477 past concerts. Now, as I've mentioned before, sometimes the data from APIs can be pretty verbose, and Bandsintown is no exception. They give us a lot of data here, and what we're going to want to do is simplify it. So we do that with a set node by editing the fields. So I'm just going to grab the ID of the show, the date of the show, the URL of the show, and some of the venue details. Again, thinking forward to what I'll be using in the email I'm sending to myself. And then we're going to sort all of these concerts by anniversary. Again, if you saw the last video, this is not necessarily sorting by date, but sorting by the next occurrence of an anniversary, determined by month and date. So it looks like the next anniversary happens on October 15th at the Majestic Cafe. That's how we know it's sorting by anniversary. Then we're going to want to calculate the anniversary. Looks like I'm calculating both the years and the date of the anniversary. The date of the anniversary is just the month and the day, as I said before. I'm going to use that string in the email to make it look a little bit neater. And then the years is how many years it's been since the anniversary. And I'll share this little expression so you can calculate that also. Once we set these, you'll see them appear in our data. So this is the data we originally set and the new data we're calculating, the date and how many years it's been. We can then limit by the next 5 and then aggregate them all together as one set of concerts. Then it all just comes down to the Gmail function. Again, I've authenticated into my Gmail account so I could send myself an email. I'm sending it to myself with the subject title Concert Anniversary, and I'm simply iterating over each of the concerts and displaying the string as follows: the date, the anniversary date, the venue name, the venue city and region, the venue country, and how many years it's been since that occurred, and the original date that it occurred. All of these things would help me when writing a social post about this particular concert anniversary. When you iterate over these things, the next 5, this is what you get, and that's exactly what's going to be emailed to me. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, this is all great, as a manual trigger here. What works even better is when I swap that out for a schedule and adjust the schedule to be every week on a Monday at 10 a.m. So if I set this up and publish this particular automation flow from inactive to active, this would fire every Monday at 10 a.m. and send me the next 5 concert anniversaries. Pretty cool. Thanks again for watching.